do you explain this new stress that we're talking about that keeps showing up in all the polls, that people are stressed about housing, stressed about the cost of food? What is the administration's plan to rein in the cost of food and housing?
Well, Maria, people should be stressed because this Biden inflation, as I said, it was worst inflation in 50 years, and Strategas, the brokerage firm who you know well, had something. Jason Trenner had something called the Common Man Index, which was working Americans. So the accumulated CPI during the Biden years, called it 21, 22%. For working Americans, it was 35. And that 35 was just a wipeout because it was groceries, insurance, rent, and the auto. And we are bringing that down. So energy, which leads everything, is coming down. Energy goes into grocery prices. So affordability has two components. So just like with the deficit, with the deficit, there are two parts to it. There's constraining spending, and then upping revenues, which is what we're doing, which is why we had this several $100 billion contraction. With affordability, I suspect that we are going to see a substantial drop in inflation in the first 6 months of next year. Rents are down. The story that the Biden administration doesn't want to talk about, the mass unfettered immigration, they have pushed up rents. Especially for working Americans. There's a recent study out from Wharton School that shows every 1% increase in population, rents went up 1%.
Wow.
So President Trump, by enforcing the border, sending home more than 2 million illegals, we're now seeing D and C rents coming down substantially. I think that will continue for the rest of the year. We brought interest rates down. So we've seen mortgage rates down, and I think everything else will follow that.
So I think what I hear you saying is that it takes time to get out of 40-year high inflation. And what you're saying is this inflation problem is still ongoing because it's the president's efforts to rein back what Joe Biden put in place with 9.1% CPI.
Well,